Hi, it's Terry Gaines. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. In this video, I'm going to share assembly tips for this card. It is a card that was inspired by the beautiful samples that Stampin' Up has on page 104 of the 2021-2022 annual catalog, and the card sketches I created to help you duplicate those beautiful samples. If you are interested in downloading these 10 flyers for the 10 suites in the annual catalog, there is a link in this video and on my blog post to give you all the information and how to download those card sketches. So to start off with this card, the card sketch for this design is going to be 104D, and it has the dimensions for the layers. You can modify those, you can add as many layers as you would like. And the very first layer on the card base is 3.5 by 4. I have actually changed that for this card design to be 3 3/4 by 4 because a 1/4 inch of that is going to be trimmed off with the scalp die that is in the Hand-Penned Petals bundle, which is the stamps and the dies together. And so this is going to be ran through the die cutting machine, and to save some time, I have prepped some of that already. So I ran that through, so this is now 3.5 by 4. Then the next step for this preparation is a piece of gold foil that is cut at 3 inches by 3 3/4, and then an adhesive sheet that is cut down to 2 3/4 by 3.5. Stampin' Up sells these amazing adhesive sheets. There's 12 in a package. They're 12 by 6 in size, and you can cut them down to the size you need. I'm going to be utilizing it on the gold foil, so I got that cut down just smaller than a gold foil. So there's a paper backing you'd peel off, and then there's adhesive on this side. I'm going to place that down. Now I'm going to take this floral design and put it right in the center and run that through my die cutting machine, so it will cut that out. So now I have that die image cut out of this image. I actually am going to have this is going to be the layer, so we're going to maximize our gold foil because this is going to be sandwiched between the designer series paper, which is cut at 2 7/8 by 3 5/8, so no one's going to be able to notice that that is cut out of that layer. So great way to maximize your specialty paper. Then it's going to be placed onto this basic white paper, so we're going to maximize that also. So once you have this adhesive sheet on there and you die cut it, and you can take this, and now you have adhesive on that entire portion. What I'm going to do is place this down on here, put that down and burnish it a little bit. Now I'm going to take this other die that's in that set and place it right on here, center it, and run that through my die cutting machine, and then I will have this image cut out. Now we have this out of here, and when this gets adhered to this, no one's going to tell that that is missing any cardstock there. Then what I did was I took the Pale Papaya blends and the Mint Macaron blends, and I colored in these images. And you'd want to do this to coordinate with the colors that you choose. So you could choose a different color, but then you're going to want to color these in. And I'm not going to take the time to do that, but just give you the concept and then color them to your liking that will coordinate with the designer series paper. And to save some time, I have that done ahead of time also already. So the light Pale Papaya and the darker, and the Mint Macaron. So let's assemble these pieces here. So the designer series paper, and what I'm going to do is bring in the silicone craft pad and just work on that. What I'm going to do is adhere the designer series paper to the gold paper first, and apply the stamp and seal onto this. And it is cut slightly smaller, so I'm going to watch opposite corners, get everything lined up, and place that down. Then this has a backing on it, that adhesive die sheet, so I'm going to take advantage of that, peel that off. And it's got adhesive on there already. Now there's going to be added length on the right side, so I'm going to watch the left side top and bottom, look for equal spacing, and then place that down. I wanted to use the silicone pad because we have some adhesive right there and it won't stick to that silicone pad. So then I'm going to take some dimensionals. You can decide whether you want to adhere this with dimensionals or if you want to adhere it flat to your card size. I am going to add some dimensionals to this because it's a fairly large size of paper. I'm going to add a few of them so it will support it. So you get 300 of these in a package, plus you still have the edges you can use here. So love the dimensionals, the very strong adhesive. The take your pick tool will help you get the backings off, and be sure you get all the backings off so they will adhere. And this is going to be adhered to the card base. As I mentioned, I'm using Pale Papaya because it coordinates with the designer series paper I selected. But I also have some cards to show after I assemble this card using the different designer series paper pieces in the packet. And to give you some options and a variety. So I adhered this down next. And this I also adhered with dimensionals, and I put those on ahead of time to save some time. And I like making sure that my images have plenty of support. So I use quite a few, trim some of them. If I need to fill in a little space, you can trim those dimensionals in half or use the edging. And there we go. And I'm going to place this right here. And in the list of measurements and supplies, I just listed have a scrap piece of cardstock that you can use the Banner's Pick-a-Punch, which I happen not to bring over to my video area, but it is a punch that allows you to punch a ½ inch up to an inch strip into a banner shape. And I use it all the time, and I use the congratulations. And the last thing I'm going to do is embellish this card with some of the gems. And I'm actually just going to use my paper snips to pick these up. I'm going to use put the center, a large one in the center of that flower. And these have a pale papaya and a mint color to them. There's Stampin' Up! Has a great variety of embellishments in our annual catalog that you can, you've got such a wide variety. I mentioned that I have some additional samples, and when I show you those, I have picked another embellishment package and utilizing that. So let me just add a few, and I'm just kind of going down on an angle here. We'll finish it off with this one right here. And you can see that I did a different sentiment on this card, and I did the congratulations here. So thanks. Both of these are in the stamp set. So that's the assembly tips for that card. As I have on the supply list and I showed you, I used the gold foil, but you could actually, instead of gold foil, use the cardstock. So this sample is using cardstock. And then here are the other designer series paper colors. This is I used garden green, and then I actually colored in the floral image with a Wink of Stella pen. And here is the mint color I used. And in this case, I reversed it. I just did the opposite and cut the detail out of the cardstock, colored cardstock, and the white. And here I reversed. Can you see what I mean? The outline is white on this one. The detailed outline is white, and the outline is the garden green. I did the same thing with this one. And then we have Blushing Bride, and then Daffodil Delight. So I did include these gems, the elegant faceted gems for some of these, but this is just going to show you a variety of different ways. So this card is an inspiration to add and create a card, or create a card with whatever colors you like, your favorite colors, your designer series paper and coordinating colors. The beauty of Stampin' Up's product, it all coordinates, And once you pick your designer series paper color, then pick the color cardstocks that go with that, your embellishments that go with that, and you can have lots of fun. I hope you found this video helpful. If you found me via YouTube, there's a direct link to the blog post where you can get the dimensions and instructions along with a PDF. And as I mentioned, there's information on how to get the card sketches. Take care and happy creating.